We have seen AI stocks take over for the year of 2024, but there are 5 stocks for the year of 2025 that I want you guys to watch out for and get into now before they take off. The first stock on my list is Broadcom, ticker symbol AVGO. You've probably heard of this name as Nvidia's biggest competitor right now, and because of that, I have it as my #1 stock pick heading into 2025. There's a lot of upside potential with this one, and over the past year, the stock has had a slow but steady increase in the price. And because of that, it's a solid choice. It's a really good company that just went through and did a stock split as well, 10-for-1 stock split back in July, similar to Nvidia, who did a stock split in June. And just recently, we just reported a massive earnings beat on earnings per share. Revenue was a little under the expectations, but it was the going forward 2025 and heading into 2027, 2028, they just got 3 new big software companies, cloud computing companies that are going to be working with Broadcom and their XPU chips that they're going to be creating. So Broadcom is a massive play for 2025 with a lot of upside potential. We've seen a move already from the 170, 180 area all the way up to $256 at all-time highs, pulling back today, and I think there's a little more of a pullback ahead and with a lot of these names, but because of that, I want you guys to get in before it's too late. Once 2025 starts to ramp up, a lot of these names are going to be rallying like we've seen Nvidia throughout 2024. Now, Broadcom price target, we got pretty reasonable price targets here. Our average price target at 228. We're a little above that now after this recent rally. High price target up to 260. I think we could get higher price targets at the 280 and closer to 300. And then our low price targets down here at the bottom around 160. So overall, I think that Broadcom has a lot of upside compared to downside, but I think that right now it's a little hot. I think you wait for a little bit of a pullback on this one, and looking through 2025 at $240 per share, we'll be laughing at this price in another 3 to 6 months. But I at least want you guys to get a better pullback on this one, because I think that it rallied so hard off of these earnings that you'll see a little bit of a pullback, an opportunity to add more shares or buy into to start a position, and then you really get into 2025 making some big money. And the next stock I have on my list is Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA. Now, of course, this was my favorite throughout 2024 and a lot of people's favorites as well. This stock was a clear winner throughout 2024 and could be going back to back as a clear winner in 2025 along with Broadcom. This could be another massive move we'll see from Nvidia. We've seen it stagnate for the past couple months. We haven't seen much movement, but if you remember the start of this year and throughout towards June and July, this has been for at least 7 or 8 months the easiest trading and investing stock to get into. This thing started back here around $45 to $50 per share at the beginning of the year and has rallied non-stop ever since basically our stock split at $140 per share. We did the 10-for-1 stock split back in June. Since then, it has pulled back, and then we had another massive rally breaking into all-time highs later into September and early October. We hit 150, but we could not break through off of earnings. Earnings wasn't as strong as they were expecting, and because of that, we had a little bit of a slight pullback. But this is a perfect, and I tell you, perfect opportunity if you're looking to get an Nvidia at a good price. Now, I know you're probably looking for it under $100, but you're probably not going to see that. But looking at Nvidia right now at this 20, 25, 130 area, this is that prime area where it's currently at right now that you will look into getting a good entry point based on how it's traded in the past, especially when it gets close to this red SMA line, which is the overall direction. It pulls back, and there's a great opportunity to invest into some shares. Looking at Nvidia price targets, you can see they have a high price target up to 220, average price target of 177, and a low price target of 135, and we're actually closer to the low price point since this pullback. We hit that 150 price point and we pulled back. Now we're in that lower price target range, and because of that, I think you easily buy up some shares here, because as you see this thing start to turn around and rally again, there's a lot of people selling out Nvidia and buying into Broadcom right now, moving their money around into different AI plays. Well, eventually they're going to want to put that money back into Nvidia, or you're going to have new investors into Nvidia. Nvidia's not going anywhere, and their 3 to 5 year outlook plan is so strong that it's going to take this stock higher. This will easily be an over $200 stock towards middle or end of 2025, and because of that, I think that Nvidia right now at $130 is a great deal. There's a lot of upside for this one. I think that you're getting a great pullback here. I think that you're definitely looking to buy in some shares if you're trying to get into the AI and semiconductor type space. My third stock pick on the list is Marvell Technologies, ticker symbol MRVL. This is another clear winner that right now it's a little hot, but we saw a massive pullback today. And as you can see over the past year, it's kind of been stagnant till more recently, end of September into October. And there's definitely a lot of upside to this one as well. And because of that, I like this name a lot. Marvell Technologies, do some research into the company and look into the fundamentals themselves, but this is a great opportunity to get into the AI space. This is a great technology play. They don't pay the greatest dividend, but they did announce 6 cents on their dividend per share just not too long ago when they had their most recent earnings. And because of that, their most recent earnings did push this stock higher from $95, hitting all-time highs up to $126. Now today we had a massive 10% pullback, so I'm definitely keeping an eye on this one. We have been seeing this thing trading along this blue SMA line, as you can see here, and it's been holding tight to it. And because of that, I think it was a massive pullback to that blue SMA line. Looking for a good entry, I would say anywhere probably below this 110 area. I think you'll see another little quick pullback down to 110, 105. You start to pick up some shares down there. I think that this is easily a $150, $160 name towards the beginning to middle of 2025. As you can see here, our price targets are looking like our high end is 140, our average is 122, which we're just below right now, and our low price target is $90 a share. So we saw that massive rally to the upside, and because of that, I want this one. Again, it's similar to Broadcom. It's got to cool off a little bit. There's a lot of volume and a lot of new buyers into this that are going to look to average down, and people just in general that are going to want to buy into this that haven't already. So heading to 2025, this is a great stock pick. Obviously, do your research on the stock itself, but there's a great amount of opportunities with this one as another AI name that is looking really, really strong heading into 2025. Now, you guys didn't think I was going to forget about one of my favorites. Palantir Technologies is my number 4 stock pick for 2025. As you can see here, Palantir has been on a tear basically since August when we had these earnings report back here at around $25 per share. We finally start to see this thing move higher and higher, and then the biggest earnings that we had was back in November when we saw this thing jump from $40 and rally all the way up to all-time highs around $80 per share. This is a big, heavy AI play. They are now working with Tesla and Elon Musk. They are working with governmental contracts and are on the side of Trump. There's a lot going for this one. And Palantir, if you do your own due diligence and research about the company, you'll see that Palantir is a clear winner. Now, I think it's also another one that's a little hot right now, but you really don't want to wait too long on this one because I think there's going to be another massive push to that $100 mark. Talked about in a previous video. We saw this thing up here on $80 and it pulled back hard. Now it's kind of stabilizing in the 70s. I want to see this thing at least back into the 60s before I look to enter. I'm already in this one. I've been in this one since COVID, back in the teens and early 20s. So because of that, my average price, I'm not looking to add into this one for a while. I'm kind of just letting it ride at this point, but this is definitely a clear winner for 2025. I love this name. I think it has to be in your portfolio if you agree with the company and the outlook for them. There's a lot going for it. I think it's going to be a $100 name very, very soon, and I think that we're going to see another massive run on it. Because of that, looking at the price targets, you can see we have a high price target of $75, an average price target of $40, and low price target down to $11. I think you're going to see another big squeeze and push into this one up to at least $85, $90 area and heading towards that $100 very, very soon. Now, I know price targets are a little bit lower in this one. I think there's going to be some price target upgrades heading into our next earnings, which we'll see at the end of January, early February timeframe. So let's see what happens with this one. But I think that there's a lot going forward with this one. And obviously, we've had a massive rally over the past basically month and a half, and I think that this one's going to cool off a little bit, and then we'll have another big push to the upside. You want to be in Palantir. There's a lot going for it. They deal with government contracts. That's where a lot of their money comes from. And now that they're on the right side, they are going to be making good revenue, and they're going to be reporting solid earnings per share with their future earnings releases. So because of that, I like the odds that Palantir moves higher, and I think it's a great pick for 2025. And my last stock on the list is ANET, Arista Networks, ticker symbol ANET. Now, this is one that I've been trying to get into for a while and haven't had the right opportunity to do so. I wanted to wait until after they did this 4-for-1 stock split just the other day, and well, the stock rallied off of that. Normally, you see stocks like Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, they have a little bit of a pullback right after. Well, this one didn't. This one continued to rally. This is another big AI name and has been doing very, very well throughout 2024, and I think is going to be a clear winner in 2025 as well. well. You can see over the past year we've had the rally from $65 all the way up to highs at 116. This one is very, very hot right now. I think you're going to see a massive pullback off of this, especially with all the buyers that got in for the stock split. You're going to start to see some profit taking. It's just a clear it's going to happen, and because of that I want to wait for the profit taking to happen. So because of that, we'll keep an eye on this one. It's definitely going to be a good name throughout the year of 2025. I just want to get a better entry point on it. Looking at the price targets, you can see that there's a lot of strong positivity around it. You can see we got the higher price target up to 125. Our low end price target is only 105. So not as big of a range compared to our other stocks we've talked about, but because of that, I think that there's a lot of good sentiment in this one. This one seems to rally, pull back. It's a healthy looking stock, falls above this red SMA line, and there's a lot of opportunity for it. I think if you just draw it out real quick, you can see, I mean, if we get a little bit of pullback, even below 110, I'd like to see this thing somewhere in this 100, 102 to 110 area. Somewhere in here, we can maybe stabilize out. We may see another big pullback down to the mid to low 90s if we get something like that. So we'll have to wait and see, but I think that something like this would be a great opportunity to get in at these price points. But I definitely like Arista Networks moving forward. It's a good name for 2025, and I think it's going to be definitely one of my top 5 picks for the year. So guys, let me know what you guys think about these stock picks, and drop some comments down below what stocks you guys are going to be watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.